Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can use AI to tackle one of finance's biggest headaches. I'm talking about reconciliation. We'll show you how to turn it from something you just have to do into a real strategic advantage for your business.
All right, so take a look at this. This slide perfectly captures the before and after. On the left, you probably know this scene all too well, right? The endless spreadsheets, the manual check marks. It's pure chaos. But now, look at the right. That's where we're headed. You've got clean data streams flowing into an AI that does the heavy lifting, and it spits out a simple dashboard with just the things you need to look at. It's a huge leap, and that's exactly what we're going to dig into. So, first up, let's talk about the reconciliation headache. Why is the old way of doing things such a bottleneck? The problems just stack up, don't they? First off, it's just so slow. We're talking days, sometimes weeks added to closing the books. And all that manual work? It's a recipe for human error, which can lead to some pretty serious misstatements. But here's the real kicker. Even when you get it right, you're not learning anything. You're just matching numbers, not seeing the story behind them. And that's why those old, rigid, rules-based systems just don't cut it. They can't handle the weird stuff, the exceptions, and that's usually where the most important information is. But what if there was a better way? Well, there is. Let's get into Section 2, AI, and how it's a much smarter approach. This is where we see how AI really changes the reconciliation game. So when you bring in AI, you get these three huge benefits. And yes, speed is the obvious one. Of course, it's faster. But that's not even the best part. The real magic is in the accuracy. Because the AI learns your data, it gets smarter and makes fewer mistakes over time. And then there's insight. This is the big one. You stop just asking, do these numbers match? And start asking, why don't they match? The system might suddenly flag that one vendor is consistently overbilling by a small amount, something a human would miss 100 times. That's not just reconciliation. That's finding money.
Okay, a lot of people hear AI and immediately think they're going to lose control, but that's not the goal here. The key is what we call controlled automation, where it's all about amplifying your team's expertise, not replacing it.
So what exactly is controlled automation? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like giving every person on your team a super smart co-pilot. The AI does all the boring, repetitive, high-volume work that it's built for. All that tedious matching, done. This frees up your people to do what humans are best at, using their judgment, investigating the tricky exceptions, and making the final high-level decisions. And this table here lays it out perfectly. It really is a partnership. Look at the AI's to-do list. All the data heavy lifting, spotting patterns, flagging things that look off, and keeping perfect audit trails. And because the AI is handling all of that, your team gets to focus on the stuff that actually requires brain. They're validating the critical exceptions, teaching the AI how to handle unique edge cases, and giving that final stamp of approval. It's the best of both worlds. All right, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. Here is your 5-step AI playbook for getting this up and running. Okay, so here's the roadmap. Following these 5 steps is what separates a successful implementation from just buying another piece of software. First, you've got to assess. You can't fix a problem if you don't know exactly where it is, so you map out your current process and find the real pain points. Second, choose your tool. Not all AI platforms are the same, so you find the one that fits your needs. Step 3 is maybe the most important. You train the AI. You feed it your own historical data so it learns the ins and outs of your business. Step 4, you maintain human oversight. This is key for control. You decide where the human sign-offs are needed. And finally, step 5, you never stop optimizing. You watch how it's performing and keep tweaking it to make it even better. And when you do all this right, it's about so much more than just faster reconciliation. You're actually changing the future of your finance department. You're turning an operational task into a real strategic capability. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. AI isn't here to get rid of finance pros. No way. It's here to empower them. It's about getting your best people out from under a mountain of spreadsheets and turning them into the strategic advisors they were meant to be. People who can spot trends, flag risks, and actually help steer the company.
So that really leaves us with one final thought, a question for you to take back to your team. Right now, is reconciliation just a bottleneck holding you back, or are you ready to turn it into your next big strategic advantage?